The following program contains mature subject matter. Viewer discretion is advised.
Drug deaths are rising faster than ever before due to our nation's opioid epidemic, with roughly 64,000 people losing their lives to overdoses just last year. The problem is the addicts, they're not the only victims. Many children, like this one, whose mother abused heroin during pregnancy, they're born with severe drug withdrawals. And many more children are left without parents and thrown into the foster system. But how far is too far when it comes to a solution? Have a look at this one.
I feel like in this country we don't really work on preventing things. I feel like we let things happen and then we spend billions of dollars to fix it. I started Project Prevention. We pay drug addicts and alcoholics cash incentive to use long-term birth control or to get sterilized. We've been on this mission for 21 years. My husband and I became foster parents in 1989, and the first baby they placed with us was the 5th baby born to her mother, who was a drug addict. 4 months after we took Destiny home, we got a phone call from the social worker saying the mother had another baby boy. Did we want him? So we brought Isaiah home. The next year we got a phone call saying she was pregnant with number 7. Did we want her? And then the next year, number 8. Did we want him? And we took all of them. But as I watched them withdraw from drugs and I saw how they suffered, and social workers were complaining about the fact that these women were having so many children. So I thought, what if we pay drug addicts $300 to get on long-term birth control or sterilized? We travel in this from city to city. It's basically a rolling billboard. It advertises for us wherever we go, and I'm sure we start a lot of conversations along the highway. Some people say you're just giving money to drug addicts, but they have a choice. It's a choice they made in their life. These babies don't have a choice. We have 400,000 kids in foster care. In the United States, we have over 4 million grandparents who are raising their grandkids because of this problem. It affects a lot of people. We've paid about 7,000 women so far. I get many calls from family members, mothers, sisters, saying, please contact my sister. He's had so many. I get those calls all the time. It's very sad. All of our money comes from private foundations and just individuals across the country. Excuse me. Hi, I have a nonprofit organization. Do you know anybody who's using drugs and alcohol who could get pregnant? Unlike many other nonprofits where the problem continues, with us it ends. Tell them if they're interested, just call this 800 number and it'll explain what they need to do. Do you know anybody who might do drugs that could get pregnant? Okay. Yeah? Give them that card. I appreciate it. Thank you. To me, it's common sense. There's no logical, rational reason as to why somebody strung out on drugs or alcohol should conceive a child.
We're joined on our panel by advocate and attorney Riva Martin and psychiatrist Dr. Dominic Sportelli. Barbara, who you saw in that video, is from Project Prevention. She joins us. Barbara, I applaud you for all the work you've done in your personal life and adopting so many children. You have your daughter Taylor with you, who I know loves you to death. But as far as your Project Prevention, when people say, well, wait, aren't you taking it too far? What is your response to that?
I don't think there's a too far to preventing child abuse. I don't think there's anything you can do that would be too much.
Barbara, I'm a children's rights advocate, and that picture of that baby just is so disheartening to me. And I've worked with so many kids who've been born in that condition because of drug-addicted parents or mothers. So on one hand, I appreciate what you're doing to try to address this really big issue, but I'm really concerned about this project. And I wonder, do you know that traditionally forced sterilizations, the sordid history, forcing African-American women, poor women, the disabled, people considered not adequate enough to be born into this country were the victims of forced sterilization. So I get really nervous when I see a project that's targeting drug-addicted women because, again, traditionally, those are going to be women who are marginalized in our society, the disenfranchised, the poor, minority women who are being, in my estimation, bribed or coerced to give up their productive rights, their reproductive rights. And that's scary to me as a woman of color.
First of all, it bothers me when people act as though we're only paying women of color. That, to me, is very racist, to assume that all drug addicts are black. That's not the case. We've paid many more white women, and all of the women who have been sterilized who came through this program had 3 to 13 children before doing so. Nobody has been sterilized who will never have a child or who is not a certain age. Doctors will not even sterilize a woman until she's a certain age and has had a certain number of children. And we don't force anybody to do anything.